me staying consistent, man. Listen, I tell you this, man, and I have nothing but but great intentions for this YouTube channel, and I have nothing. I'm coming in here with the mindset of for as far as giving y'all the best content I possibly can, as far as editing, um, you know, picking things to react to. I mean, if y'all got suggestions, email me, comment below, and we gonna get into this work, man. But dollars, gang, 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 like, comment, subscribe, man. We growing, man. So definitely hit that like button so we can get in that algorithm. We reacting to today, man, the Drunken Master. So I guess this guy was a boxer that was called the Drunken Master. You feel me? So we're gonna get right into the video, man. Like, comment, subscribe.
Emanuel Augustus is one of the most entertaining and skillful fighters to have ever laced up gloves. With Floyd Mayweather maintaining for years that Augustus was his toughest opponent and calling his talent unbelievable.
Oh, you fought Mayweather.
Augustus knew the ins and outs of fighting so well that he could literally dance around his opponents, earning him the nickname of Drunken Master. Augustus's subtle displays of defense would suddenly morph into a bizarre but brilliant display of skill, as he abandoned all semblance of form to completely humiliate his opponent. He would even occasionally use his dance moves as elaborate setups or feints. As such, watching him provides a multitude of entertaining examples on how to best transition through several different head slots, foot positions, and ranges. The way that Augustus fought, using the extreme variations of several techniques and styles, provides a great chance to break down many of the principles and tactics from previous videos, and blend them together into one cohesive whole. So let's look at how Augustus smoothly blended so many elements together in ways that few fighters have ever been gutsy enough to try. Starting with his more subtle skills, and then working up to what truly made him the Drunken Master.
Nah, you see the footwork though? You see the footwork?
We'll start from close range and work our way back. At close range, foot position still matters, but it matters less, and head and upper body positions take prevalence. Most fighters prefer the outside position, resting their head on the opponent's lead shoulder. This protects their jaw from the opponent's power hand by shielding it with the opponent's head. But whether in an open or a closed head position, disengaging and moving inside comes with more risks and more rewards. And Augustus loved to take risks. At this range, smothering the opponent's guard by pressing against him becomes a vital tactic, and Augustus excelled at weaving from shoulder to shoulder, masterfully targeting openings in his opponent's guard before finally pressing in to find safety and pin his arms. Straightening up allows for better vision and more targets, but leaves the fighter the most open. It must be done briefly, before finding safety on the inside once again. That being said, Augustus chose to stand right in front of his opponents on multiple occasions, hands, and relying entirely on head movement.
Dropping his hands.
Of course, footwork can still be a crucial weapon at this range. Watch how Augustus sidesteps to escape the ropes and turn the tide of the round in his epic fight against Mickey Ward.
Nah, yeah, the ref should have called that off. He's not even throwing no punches.
At mid to long range, these same principles still apply. Since it's impossible to find safety by smothering the opponent at this distance, head movement in tandem with footwork takes prevalence for sophisticated defense.
Weave.
Moving the shoulders between a squared up position and a safer,
me and
narrow
him got
position
box.
can take on a vital
I'm spinning the block, you
no pun
doing
intended,
all this.
as well as put a fighter in position to counter.
Oh my god, with the counter.
A square posture provides lateral head movement in either direction, allowing a fighter to set up shots off of the center line.
Imagine boxing with somebody on a block and they pull up like...
Here Augustus slips and weaves inside and outside in order to evade his opponent's punches and load up power into his counters.
It's salty. Oh my god. It look like he got a little power behind them Jones too though.
Provides for greater protection and allows greater lateral movement, but only in one direction. A combination of shoulder rolls, pulls, and ducks can make for a powerful defense. Part of what made Augustus special was his ability to shift forwards and backwards in order to extend the range of his head movement and take advantage of multiple positions.
Oh, you saw that weave?
For instance, Augustus would commonly step back into southpaw to shoulder roll lead side attacks, and then duck low to exit out at an angle.
Nah.
Augustus performed these feats to the far side of plausibility, doing things that just shouldn't work, and in fact, they didn't always work. But that never stopped Augustus from trying them. At long range, these body postures can be extended and enhanced by footwork. For instance, the outside position can be obtained by stepping the rear foot outside in a closed stance, or the lead foot outside in an open stance. This takes away the opponent's ability to land with his rear hand, while the fighter still remains offensively
I'm just amazed. I'm really sitting here like he's really
aware of the benefits of using
weaving a lot of these punches.
Angle. He was especially good at utilizing footwork on the inside.
Yeah, that's all boxing
Moving
really
inside
comes
of the
down
center
to
line,
is footwork.
the fighter can take the same attitude as an infighter, squaring up and risking attack.
Footwork and head
both
movement,
hands within
bro.
striking
And
distance.
timing.
Augustus shows his tactic here, closing the distance between his rear foot and his opponent's rear foot.
That's why fighters like, I wouldn't even say that because
the fighter can move into an inside position that opens up his opponent and keeps himself safely sideways.
having the right
Augustus
amount of
does
power
so here,
can get you far.
keeping sideways to flick out his jab
Especially
and
as a
move back
heavyweight.
to the center of the ring. But Augustus most excelled when he used footwork to move between an open and a narrow stance, just as he did with body posture. In this exchange, Augustus begins in an open stance, slipping inside to avoid a jab, and then countering with a body shot. He gains an advantage by keeping his lead foot on the outside. He then V-shifts outside to exit at an angle, switching into an orthodox stance.
I see the switch. I
Steps
see
forward
the
to throw,
switch.
and then steps back with a lead hook, regaining safety by staying in a narrow posture. Ward moves in with a rear hook, and Augustus responds, squaring himself up to slip inside.
Nah, he slipped that.
fire with a lead
Boy,
hook
he slipped
thrown.
that John.
Anticipating another attack, he shifts back, squares up to slip, then smothers Ward to press him back and create space. After slipping a few more punches, he exits off the ropes. While the last exchange was no doubt impressive, Augustus took it to a whole other level when he danced. Augustus would play with all
Oh
forward
my
positions,
God, bro.
postures, and head slots,
Weave.
smoothly moving through all the ranges while doing so.
Weave.
Here Augustus squares up inside to lead with
Oh
multiple
my God.
crosses.
This guy,
His
he's a
opponent tries to
fucking,
push back.
he's a cheat
Augustus
code,
steps
man.
into southpaw,
Yo,
and then steps forward immediately
Nah.
into a wide square stance,
this is
pulling
nasty.
back to angle in an uppercut. He then weaves under a punch and steps back to exit in a defensive narrow stance.
This gotta be a
That was
Camp's
impressive,
worst
but
nightmare
let's
to
go
try
up
to
one
prepare
more
for,
level.
bro. Like, how do you find the small
Here
partner
Augustus shifts into southpaw
like
to go
this?
on the offensive, and then switch shifts back into
You
orthodox
gotta
to
go
evade his
get
opponent's
Jet
punch,
Li,
before rebounding back with a
fucking
1, 2,
Jackie
3.
Chan.
He then pulls back and steps outside to angle in a counter right over his opponent's jab. Now let's go up one more level and look at what was perhaps Augustus's most impressive exchange ever. Augustus steps in with the cross, presses in to smother his opponent's guard, then turn slips multiple punches. He then
Oh
switch
my
shifts
God,
to
you
avoid
see
a
the
punch
uppercut, though?
and immediately switch shifts back to land a hard uppercut. He dances his way into a cross uppercut combination, slips another punch, and then dances his way inside. His
Look at
opponent
his
is
feet.
left so out of position, he's forced to step back to return to an orthodox stance. Meanwhile, Augustus has danced his way into a southpaw position and lands with the leading cross. He next steps through and Demano shifts inside again and continues his rhythmic barrage. Emanuel Augustus
Nah,
is truly
bro.
one of a kind.
Hell yeah, yo, I never seen this in boxing, yo.
Sadly, to quote Floyd Mayweather, Augustus's record did not reflect his talents. Augustus was prone to unfair judging on several notable occasions.
But the crowd is even bored.
While the crowd reacted predictably.
Many of his bouts were taken on a few weeks
So-
or even a few days' notice, and Augustus would show up underweight, not yet fully recovered from his last bout.
Oh man.
And despite all of his skills, Augustus's lack of power prevented him from winning several
That's what I
fights.
said. You see, I
All the
said
same, Augustus's antics and
power
skillful
can get
display
you
of
far in
boxing
boxing.
has earned him a devoted following of lifelong fans, many of which have been asking for a breakdown every single video since the inception of the channel. All I can say is, sorry it took so long.
But you see how it's crazy. 'Cause I said in the video, power gets you far in boxing. You see, like, especially with heavyweights. You see Deontay Wilder. You see he was knocking people out left and right. You feel me? Until he ran into, you know what I'm saying, Fury. And Fury got the, you know what I'm saying? He don't got that much power, but he got footwork. You feel me? So in certain situations, it comes down to your stamina, your footwork in the major rounds. You feel me? Can you keep them hands up and keep them flying through the rounds and stay? You know what I'm saying? Keep the footwork there. You feel me? So that's definitely a factor. Like boxing, listen, man, you gotta commend them people for getting in the ring. Even the people that get knocked out. You know, Tyron Woodley. You feel me? But you know what I'm saying? It takes a lot, man. So get his name, Emanuel Augustus. You know, so was a legend, respectfully. You know what I mean? Some people just everybody can't retire like Mayweather in Ward, but you know, it is what it is. So on that note, like, comment, subscribe. Dollars gang gang. We here for the growth.